Jared, can you tell me what the NeuV is? Because I'm kind of a newbie about this pretty cool car.
Absolutely, yeah. So the NeuV is a new electric urban vehicle, and what that is basically a vehicle for youth market for the cities. We want to make something that's also very technically advanced, and we work with a lot of groups internally as well as externally. Some of the groups inside were Honda Silicon Valley Labs and our own powertrain research group, and they brought to the table, the idea of EV, level 4 autonomy, as well as emotion engine, the ability to kind of sense your feelings and understand your mood and kind of help you to make the driving experience better in this Honda.
It's really a smartphone on wheels and more, obviously, right?
Yeah, no, it really is. And we're talking to a lot of young buyers, and for the styling, we talked about the theme of subtractive simplicity to kind of embrace that idea. Like a lot of the phone technology is so cool and so advanced, but also so simple and easy to use. You just swipe, you voice activate, you just touch and go. And, a lot of the young people are saying, why can't cars be more like that? They're so complex, or they're so kind of old, and, we still have CD players, so we have all these buttons and mechanisms. Why can't you simplify it? And so we really try to embrace that on multiple levels. Of course, the usage of it, but then also how you actually interact with the car and how it interacts with you.
Well, and the other thing you touched upon off camera was this whole idea of making mobility affordable. And I want you to talk to that.
Yeah, well, again, back to the subtractive simplicity, the idea that, for instance, in the styling, like everything's very minimal. So the door is basically the entire body side, which is very unusual. The back end is the bumper and the hatch combined, as well as the front lower, and then this giant piece of glass on the top. So you have this excellent view outward. So in a city environment, you can see the stoplights, and in autonomous mode, you can actually just sit back and enjoy the skyline of the city and look at the architecture and stuff like that. But as well, for the affordability part of it, the idea of being able to ride share and rent the car out through the AI and Visa payment plan, you could actually, basically approve somebody who wants to borrow your car for the day or however long, when you're not using it, because most people, like 96% of the time, they say the car is just sitting idle anyway, so why not make some money on it? And what this does is allow younger people to enter the car market and be able to own something for themselves, while at the same time make some money and support that ownership.
Well, and it becomes interesting because that almost shifts Honda from making a car to becoming a service company, because I'd imagine you'd provide that underlying infrastructure to make it happen, right?
Well, as this is just a concept right now, it's just sort of ideas that we're sort of putting out there. We're kind of taking a parade of progress approach. Typically our show cars are a little bit more next generation. This is what you can expect for the next Accord or Civic. This one's a little bit further reaching. But at the same time, all the technologies are real, and we're working on them right now, and we're hoping that, when people see this, they give us some feedback like, hey, that's cool, or I don't know about that, but we're totally open to that. We're really excited to kind of, just sort of be a little bit bold and show what we got so far. The other thing we're really interested in is like trying to get more collaborators. We're interested in brand names, but we're also interested in startups, and we want people to kind of join Honda and help us make a better product for the future.
So really, back to that smartphone, it becomes kind of this ecosystem around those wheels that move.
That's right. And, it's all around mobility. Today we have all these different products, and they're all kind of fueling each other. We've got the Unicub and, the robot assist motorcycle, and all these things are kind of implemented in this vehicle. And so and I think Honda's in a unique place, definitely more than any other automotive company. We make so many different products, we're really advanced, but we're still aware that we could be better, and we're still researching, and we want to make something that's truly the best it can be for the user, for people.
Can you flip those doors open? They're pretty cool.
The way these doors open up is basically to obviously let you have a big amount of ingress egress. There's a large aperture to get in and out of it easily, but as well they're really close to the car itself. So you can imagine, like in an urban parking environment, like in a underground garage or something like that, you can park near a car and not worry about door dings or anything like that. It is level 4 autonomy, so you could actually just pull up like a valet style, and the car could park itself as well, though.
Excellent. Can we sit down? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to. Yeah, let's do it.
Here we are in the driver's seat, but it isn't always a driver's seat, right?
No, I mean, with the Emotion Engine, which we call HANA, which is the Honda Automated Network Assistant, basically is just that. It assists you in everyday life. And, you can manually drive it, and I don't know if you noticed with the doors closed, but the wheels kind of push out to the body. It kind of shows that stance because Honda is always about fun to drive, the joy of driving. But you can go into autonomous mode. And this is kind of like a future entry-level version of that. So we still have a fixed steering wheel, but you can just kind of like relax and let it take over. You could watch a movie, or one of my favorite things is just implement shark mode, like you're in under the ocean and there's a bunch of sharks swimming around.
Right. Yeah, I love this unit body glass or whatever.
Yeah, so this is really unique because the header is typically here, the structure that kind of holds the windshield and the rear view mirror. And instead we have it much further back. And again, that's for urban environments, for the visibility, so you can see stoplights. And then in level 4 mode, you can just kind of sit back and enjoy. Yeah, because you don't need a rear view mirror in level 4
That's
mode.
Right.
That's right.
It does beg the question that why not level 5? Why
Yeah. Well, I think what we wanted to do is really sort of say to everybody, like, this is we feel like this is coming and it's coming soon, and we want to make something like on the entry level because we are Honda and we do really want to make something more for people. Now, on the other hand, an Acura might do something different, and you might see something like that in the near future as well. It'll still have a lot of the AI kind of stuff as well, but maybe in a different sort of flavor. So for this one, we really wanted to focus on that youth market and make these, because these technologies, we predict that they're going to be more common, but right now it's still very expensive. But we want to try to be smart about it and figure out how to make it applicable to those young buyers.
Well, the neat thing is it gives you a little more design freedom, I guess. You've got a lot of headroom here, and really neat storage back there. I see an electric skateboard. It looks
like. Yes. So that's our last mile EV skateboard, and then basically when it locks in place, it's also charging, so you can keep it recharged, and it's good for about 10 miles. And basically, you can also use it with a smart device and your Emotion Engine HANA, and basically link up with other users or your friends and meet at a coffee shop or something like that. Yeah.
So Hannah's our emotional friend then, huh?
Yes. And basically or you can make it a he, but in this case it's Hannah. She can kind of sense through cameras and your facial expressions, as well as through sensors in the seat rest, and basically your heart rate, your temperature, and kind of know if you're feeling good or bad. Or
that begs the question: do you anticipate, when you're level 4, but Hannah realizes, well, you know what, you had a little bit too much to drink. You really shouldn't be driving. Maybe that steering wheel is,
So that's a benefit for sure. I mean, if it could go into lock mode, we've designed the steering wheel in such a way that it's not a traditional steering wheel, so that you can see as much of the screen as possible, and it kind of rotates within this piece here. Basically, it goes into lock mode. You can't drive it. It's not going to let you drive.
It becomes like the Disneyland cars, right? You just drive, but you're not really doing it.
Oh man, again, Jared, I'll get you home this time, but man.
That's terrific, as long as she doesn't tell my wife, I guess. But so it looks like you've really set a path here for where the future could be, and focusing with the millennials, in that design process.
Yeah, I mean, we're really trying to, it's funny, I'm a car guy, a lot of us at Honda are car guys, and we love our car culture, and a lot of people are afraid of the future, I think, in a lot of ways. And what I found working with a lot of the young guys at our studio, Nick standing over there, designer, just very inspiring, and what I found is there's just tons of opportunities, and it really opens up the realm of car culture, and actually I feel like it's enhancing it. There's really nothing to be afraid of. There's still going to be people that want the manual experience, and you're offered that in this vehicle as well, but you'll have other options. And how nice would it be if you're driving in some beautiful coastal area or through a forest where you could just kind of take a moment and just let Hannah take over, and you could just enjoy it, remember it, take a photograph, maybe record it through Hannah, and have it in a digital scrapbook that's saved in the cloud somewhere. So
you can watch later on.
You could take videos. You could have a special moment. We can have a special moment.
Excellent. Well, Jared, this has been a very special special moment. It harkens back to Honda's tagline from 35 years ago. We make it simple, and it looks like you've done that. So appreciate it.
Thank you so much.